before I get into some of these resources, and I have quite a list, I just want to tell you that those of us at Church of God Publications, we really believe in what we do. We really believe in our mission, which is to resource the church, resource pastors, resource leaders, resource Sunday school teachers with what we like to say are resources you can trust. And what I mean by that is this, there's a lot of resources out there available to you all. I'm a former pastor, or I like to say I'm a recovering pastor. There's a lot of resources out there, and a lot of them are good. The challenge is sometimes you just don't really know what you're getting. And so here's my thing. If you are Pentecostal, which I'm assuming everybody on this call is, if you are, especially if you're a Church of God, what we do, everything we produce is produced with a distinctively Pentecostal theological perspective. And so all of our books and our resources are from that lens. And that's why we can say with confidence that we are providing you resources that you can trust. We do partner with some other organizations for some of our products, like David C. Cook. But the fact is, we still serve as guardrails because we very intentionally go through every single section, every single lesson of every resource we bring in from the outside to make sure it does not conflict with classic Pentecostal doctrine and theology. And so that's our gig. And I'm going to tell you, everybody from the general director to accounting to marketing, even in the shipping department, we really believe in this. And in fact, you may not know this, but every single passage or package that leaves our building, at least one, if not many, staff members have prayed over those packages so that they believe in God to assist you to impact your congregations. And so I want to start with our books. And I want to say, most everybody knows we have literally hundreds and hundreds of books, maybe thousands. You are all familiar with books like this one, Encountering the Holy Spirit by Dr. French Arrington. That's a classic, great book for anybody to pick up. We've got Back to Acts, about church revitalization by Dr. James Causey. But here's what you may not know. Did you know that Church of God Publications has produced over almost 65 brand new books in just the last few years? 65 brand new books. And so what I did was I just grabbed the newest books that we have available to you. This one right here, called Critical Faith Theory by Quantel Lindsay. This just came out last week. What Brother Quantel does, he's a Church of God minister. He talks about his story, but then he uses that to address some of the pressing cultural issues in our time right now, like critical race theory, right? Like identity politics, like fatherlessness, like crime in the inner cities. And he takes his story and he weaves it with a biblical approach to how to address these issues. This is a great book, and he's a great man. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a book come out called Between the Frogs and the Flies by our International Youth and Discipleship Directors, Rob and Crystal Bailey. This is a great, when our graphic designer who was flowing the inside of the book, she was accidentally reading portions of this book, and she said, I can't wait for this one to go to print because I need to read it. It's really addressing one of the core issues of our day, and that is that this thing right here, our mouth, can bring life or death, right? And then here's another really recent book. This is by Dr. Gerald Duffy, former professor at Lee University. It's called Hearing God's Call and Doing His Will. I realize all these books are backwards. I'm believing all of you to be able to see that differently. But what Dr. Duffy did was he took, oh, look at that. It's technological magic. Dr. Duffy brought in 9 other contributors, Church of God pastors, Church of God scholars, and what he did was he put together this book about hearing God's call and doing God's will and how to overcome obstacles to his will and things like that. In any case, all of these books are on our website. And when you go to our website, you can search by pastoral resources. We have sermon resources and leadership materials. You can search by Bible studies. You can search by general books. It's all in there. So I just wanted to highlight a few. The other thing I want to talk to you about is discipleship resources. Again, we have lots of discipleship resources available, but did you know that we have created over 15 brand new discipleship resources just in the last couple of years? And so Lance, when we get that video working, he's going to talk about some of them, but I just wanted to bring up 3 real quickly. We started a series a few years ago called the By the Book series. Pastor Brent Stevens in Cartersville, Georgia, he started taking books of the Bible and developing studies that go through books of the Bible chapter by chapter by chapter. Every single book has an introduction, so you know who wrote it, why they wrote it, where they wrote it, all the stuff. And every single chapter has materials. This is really designed for small groups, but can also be used in like a Wednesday night class, because every chapter has discussion questions and questions that will force the readers to get further into the biblical text. So we have 10 of these in the series right now, everything from Esther all the way to Revelation. And every few months, about every 3 to 6 months, we produce another one. And so that series is going to continue to grow. Each of these are designed to go, depending on how long the book of the Bible is, they could be anywhere from 8-week long studies for your groups to 12 or 16-week long studies. But these are great resources if you have any kind of small group discipleship going on. Thank you, sir. We also have a series called Relational Discipleship. This was developed by Pastor Randy Ballard, who pastored in Ohio and Indiana and Illinois for about 35 years. And what Randy did was he developed a program where you can take a brand new believer and over the course of 36 weeks, walk them through a series of learning and education. And there's Bible study resources and accountability questions and things like this. So that after 36 weeks, they've gone from being a new believer to where they're actually mentoring other new believers. This is a phenomenal resource that goes through 5 different levels. I would highly recommend this. And then my third discipleship resource that I want to mention to you. I know I'm covering a lot. I promise it's all good. It's Show and Tell. We have partnered with Adult Discipleship, Wayne and Pam Brewer, to bring to you 3 different series of books for Pentecostal, peculiarly, distinctively Pentecostal discipleship. This one is called Growing Pentecostal Disciples. But each of the 3 series, there's one called Living What We Believe, there's one called Discipling Pentecostals, and then this is the most recent one. Each one is a series of 6 books, and each one of these books is designed for you to take your people through in about 4 weeks. So when you pick up one of these series, you're covering about a half a year of discipleship resources. And some of the titles, these are written by scholars and pastors like you, and folks like Dr. French Arrington and Leroy Martin and other ones. These are phenomenal. All right, let's cut to the chase. I want to talk to you too about what we call Church of God logo items. Now, this isn't really a discipleship resource, but these are important things because these make great gifts for your board or your staff or your pastor or for yourself. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of them so you can see them. This is one of my absolute favorite mugs. First of all, because it's big and I like coffee, but this mug highlights the history of the Church of God logo. And this has been an absolute favorite. Again, all these are available on our website. I am wearing a Church of God logo polo shirt. These are awesome because they're professional and casual. They're great for like doing hospital visits and things like that. Very comfortable, lightweight. And you can even get Church of God ball cap for when you're golfing on your day off. And finally, I want to mention to you, Church of God Publications is a great place for all of your normal, regular supplies. So for example, we provide tithe envelopes already printed with the Church of God logo on them by the thousands, and you can pick these up on the website. All your communion supplies, for example, these come in boxes of 100 or 250 or 500 or even 1,000. And since COVID, what they've done is that you can see here the wafer, so that you don't have a bunch of people touching your stuff. The wafer is actually packaged right in with the cup. And so these are a great resource. And the last thing I want to say, just in case you forgot, we are the producers of the classic Redback hymnal. So, having said all that, let me say this. We are here to serve you. If you have any questions, if you need anything, please reach out to us. You are our mission.